worried that when I come and do TV and they have this like low-key lighting, it's too dark probably.
We were testing the light on me, and I was like, yeah, it's perfect.
Quite dark. You thought it was a bit dark here for the previous one, didn't you?
Yeah, but no, if my face was white, it'd be all right. But it's kind of tanned.
No, you're fine. Does
it look all right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So you're right with the light. We're not.
Oh, no, I can see me. Oh, that looks all right.
There you go.
Great. Okay, thank you.
So, if I could just start by asking you, you're performing on this new album with some legends, people that you grew up listening to that probably inspired you.
Well, I didn't grow up listening to them. I was already had my own career going by the time Motown started, and then of course I heard all that, that whole thing that came over, the Temptation, the Stylistics, Diana Ross, all those people, and
brilliant people.
Absolutely brilliant.
He's brilliant, and he loves them all, and they love him.
I do love it all. I'm just amazed that they're willing to do this with me. And I think David's probably the only one who could have probably put this together. He doesn't agree. I think that's true. If I wanted to do this by myself, me, my office, we're not set up. We don't know what the scene is like in America. We don't know these people individually. He's one of the rare people that when he says he knows somebody, if you don't believe him, he just calls them on the phone, puts somebody, says, Russell, he did this with Russell Tompkins Jr. of Stylistics, and I'm sitting at home, and he said, you don't believe me, do you? I said, David, in my head I'm going, does he really know him? He dials him up, and I say, Russell, hello, and he says, hi man, looking forward to singing with you, and I'm going, oh my God, it's Russell Tompkins Jr. But it was only 7 a.m. in Vegas, so I said to Russell, it was not me that called you.
That's it. When you see him, you'll be in some trouble.
Yeah.
So I mean, how did it come about? I know that obviously David called you when he was shooting with Gloria Hunniford, and it was Gloria Hunniford rather.
Yeah.
Because you've released so many different albums. It's and it's just now it's the soul. You're moving into something new, and I guess as an artist, it must be challenging and rewarding.
It is different, and sometimes when I hear them all talk about it, I think, oh yeah, I'm moving into something different, but it's not that different. Pop rock music, when I think of what influenced me and what I liked, it was everything from Elvis, Little Richard, Buddy Holly, Diana Ross, Temptations, Stylistics, all those bands that came out Motown, we loved them as well, and we liked what they did, and I've always said, you're usually influenced by things that you really like. Because I remember Brenda Lee had a record, what was it called? It started off with a really dry, crisp drum sound. I played it to my engineer, and I made a record influenced by that. So even when you hear people singing, you're influenced. So we've already heard what they do. All I really have to do is use my soul, which is my soul is just as valid as anybody else's. And if our souls can blend, then we'll have a fantastic album. And with the people that I met, Frida Payne, Russell, Lamont, they're all such really nice people. They love their music. They seem to know about my music, which is interesting, and they feel comfortable with me. So I've got a feeling that when we get into the studio, it's not going to be a hassle. And of course, I think every producer needs something different from you. Bruce Welch needed me to sing in the higher echelons of my voice, which I did. There was one producer wanted me to sing it's every syllable. You needed to hear every syllable. So they all demand something different, and that's maybe why the albums come out sounding different. They're all in different directions in a way, but this is definitely not so much a different direction, because everyone's going to know the feel and the sound of it. It's just that we have got new songs that are really good, and we'll do at least 4 classic Motown type hits.
I thought it was really interesting earlier as well when you said that in the current day and age as a musician, if you have a top 10 that makes it to number 8 or number 9, you can get dropped straight away. Whereas when you started out, it was almost like if you sort of veered off and things weren't popular all the way through.
No, we were supported.
It continued, and it wasn't like you were just dropped straight away.
Yeah, we did continue, but we were supported. I was talking to somebody else saying that when the Shadows and I started, we had Norrie Paramore as our producer in the studio, we had Peter Gormley as our manager, and these people, these men, they loved us as people. They were concerned for us. So my first record went to number 2. Okay, not number 1. Most of the X Factor people start with a huge number 1 hit record. We started at number 2. Now my next record was number 7. Then there was another one at 9. Then the next one was 17. So look, however you look at it, this was a definite downward trend. Panic, panic. Norrie, Peter Gormley, they're saying, don't worry. We were going on tours, don't worry about it, just sing those songs on your tour, people will know them anyway. And sure enough, the 5th record was Living Doll. And so we were supported through the bad times, and then once Living Doll came, I didn't really have too many bad times as such, but you do have to get through the period when the records are not number one. And I remember talking to Daniel Bedingfield. He said, how many number ones have you had? I said 16. He said, is that all? And I said, what do you mean that all? He said, well, all of mine, well, mind you, at that stage I only had about 4 or 5 songs, I don't know. He said, they've all been number one. He said, and that last one of mine wasn't that good. I said, well, whatever happens, if you get to number 2, it is not a failure. It just means it's not number one. You've got it in you to have multiple number ones. But, you know, so that's how I felt. You know, to me, the fact that I'm still around today is because I've had, I think it was 36 top 5 hits and 120 top 30 hits and a whole bunch in the 20 and the 10. So that's what makes longevity happen. You got to be patient and be supported. And I worry because you hear great singers today and you just hope that they're supported so they can get through the bad patch and don't get dumped. Because it's unfair on the rest of us, because if you like somebody, you want them to be around for quite a while. You know, some of the singers I've heard from X Factor and some of the new people coming through, I think they're just unbelievably good. Adele is an unbelievably good singer. And I just wish her all the luck in the world. And don't get sucked into being self-destructive. Just enjoy your gift and your audience.
And if I could just ask you one more question, what's the name of the album and what can people expect from it?
At the moment, we decided on the title. David thought of it. I wanted to call it Soulmates. And he came out, he said, well, what do you think about this one? And he said, Soulicious. And I said, oh, sounds great. It sounds great to say Soulicious. And I used it when I talked to the press today. I sort of said, if I sing with my soul and I blend with their soul, it is going to be Soulicious. And it could be so delicious. It's so delicious, broken up a little. And so that's what it's going to be called.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to it.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.